Dave from the Redneck Garage. Well, today we're going to talk about powder coating. Powder coating seemed to me to be one of the coolest ways to get some of the Jeep parts coated and painted so it looks really good. And the first thing we're going to coat is this spacer plate that goes on the back rear tire carrier, and because it came in looking so crappy, I thought it'd be a good one to coat. So we're going to get it cleaned up, degreased, and ready to shoot. Alright, so here's the part, and I got a Eastwood little stand thingy to put it on, and I've degreased it, making sure. I think they put like a little real light coat of lacquer thinner on one side, so I've cleaned that all up with paint remover, and it should be ready to rock and roll. Looks good. Let's get the gun out and see what it is. Alright, here's the gun, and it's good to use a air filter. You can't have any water in this. This is the dry coating system. This is the box it hooks into. Basically that plugs in, and then you got a switch. It says if you touch the end of it while you're painting, it'll shock the crap out of you, so don't do that. So I'm going to pour the satin black paint, which is a powder. This is the black powder. This is a black satin finish, and you can see that it's real fine. Comes in this bag. And then we've got our gun here that's got the air filter, the coating system power supply, and you got a button here that you press and you can see that it's red. So I guess as you're shooting, that supplies the negative voltage, the voltage to the part that I've just got it laying on the clip there. And I'm gonna pour some paint in this. We're gonna see what happens. All right, let's see what happens. It looks covered, so let's bake it and see what happens. Now you can buy an oven at Eastwood, or I bought this one on Amazon for like $35, so this is what I'm using. And I'm going to see what the settings are. We're going to fire this baby up. You can see me in it. And we're going to get it warmed up. It said to preheat it to 450. So we're going to preheat this baby to 450 degrees, and then we'll stick it in there, see what happens. To clean off the gun, you just basically blow it off. It's getting pretty hot. Alright, so I'm going to guess it's about 450. That element's gotten less red, and it's pretty dang hot. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it in there. We're going to see what happens. I probably should push it back a little bit further in there. I don't know. We'll leave it for now. On the flat black, I'm not really sure how you know if it's flowed out or not, but we're going to let it flow, sit in there for a little while. It says it can take up to 30 minutes for it to flow out. So I'm just going to let it sit in there and bake, see what happens. I can actually see kind of a color difference, like it's getting kind of glossy, like it's starting to get liquidy. Yeah, oh yeah, I can see that. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's kind of getting a little bit of a glossy sheen to it, and it looks kind of liquidy. And this was the liquid flow out, so you got to let the flow out and then cure it. Pretty dang cool though. Well, that's curing. I thought I would show you this. This is the rubber piece that they sent with this carrier, and this rubber piece is too small to cover the metal, so the metal is actually larger, so when you crank down on it, it takes all the paint off your wheels. It's retarded. I took a adjustable hole saw and cut one out of a rubber mat that actually is just slightly bigger than the metal, so then when it goes on, it's pushing up against the rubber rather than just taking the paint off the wheels. Because the stupid design, cheap old rubber, they could have made it just a little bit bigger. Got 20 minutes set on my phone, and it is a time for one more procedure. The 20-minute wait gives me plenty of time to have a blue moon. We're just going to sit and wait and see what it looks like when it's done. But it's looking really pretty cool. Alright, so we got it turned off, pulled the piece out. It's just going to air cool down. Turn the oven off. There's the bell. And that looks freaking awesome. So we'll let her cool down and then it'll be ready to reinstall, but that is pretty slick. I can tell you that is one big old hunk of metal, and it's retaining a lot of the heat, but it's air cooling, and once it cools off we're going to reinstall it. But I can tell you, man, that looks really good. Alright, well, the sun's starting to go down, so I'm losing my light, but this piece looks 100% awesome on there compared to the silvery metal finish that they had on it when they came with the carrier, which I think was crappy. They should do this to it from the factory so I don't have to do it. Anyway, that looks super good. Now we're going to see how well it holds up with the powder coating. They make all kinds of colors: red, green, orange, neon blue, chrome. We're going to be doing a chrome finish on some pieces just to see how it comes out. That chrome just kind of melts over and it looks really cool. We'll see how that comes out, but I am super happy with the process, the gun, and everything else. It's going to take a little bit of practice, I'm sure, for me to get it perfect, but this piece looks great, and it looks better than if it was painted. It's a really nice satin black. I'm thinking about doing all the hinges on the truck, but you got to strip all the paint off. Anytime you do powder coating, the metal has to be completely clean, metal degreased, no grease, all that junk. So, you know, awesome. But this, because it was such a crappy finish to start with, there was no paint on it. Basically had to make sure that the varnish, if they had any on it, was off. So we're going to be moving on, doing some other little stuff on the Jeep. But let me tell you, she's looking really, really nice, and I'm excited. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Key! Turn the wrenches.